What do you think would be found under the type menu? What types of tools? Oh, somebody was whispering stuff?
Text.
Text-based, font-based, typography tools, all of those descriptors would be appropriate. And this would be similar to what you would find in just about any software. Photoshop has a type menu, Word has a type menu. But it's an area that allows us to organize our content. What font you're using, what font size. But I'll be honest with you, I almost never use this menu because I'd rather use the panel. The panel. Where would I find the type panel? What menu would I find the type panel in?
Window.
Under the window menu. And I'm going to navigate to the type panel. There it is in alphabetical order. Oh, there's different type panels. What is the hotkey for the first type panel? Command T. If I want the type panel, I usually hit Command T. There's my type panel. And almost everything that's here, especially if I show the options, almost everything that's here is what's in here. I'd rather work through this panel than have to go all the way up to the menu. Select font, comb through the font. That's really time consuming. It's much more efficient to just work through the type panel. Does that make sense, everybody? Now, there are a couple of features in the type panel that we will revisit that are really important. One of them is called glyphs. And the glyph are special characters that are difficult to find on a keyboard. If you're working with letters that are from a different language, let's say you're in Spanish and you're looking for an ñ or something like that, you would find it here. Or if it's German and you're looking for an umlaut, it would be in this area. Or if you're looking for other symbols, it would be in this area. Now, depending on the font face that you're selecting, some glyphs may or may not be there. If it's a font that somebody made and you're downloading from DaFont, the glyph may not load. Usually, if you're looking for all of the glyphs, you should work with a system-based font like Arial, Helvetica, Myriad, something that came in with the computer. But glyphs are those special characters. And then last but not least, another type feature that we will work with in this class is hidden characters. It doesn't mean anything right now, but we will revisit this. But I like to work with the type panel, Command T. This is where I'd rather manage my text, through here. I almost never go up here. The object menu. The object menu is super important in Illustrator. I'm telling you, don't pay attention. The help menu, don't really use it. Window menu, I do use it. View menu, I do use it. Effects, once in a blue moon. Select, I never use. Type, I never use. The object menu, super important. Super important. Now, the menu, it's actually 3 different categories of features in one. 3 categories in one. What are the 3 categories? The first one is organization, how you organize your file and manage your file. So it starts with transform, and the organization stops at show all. From here up, about a third of it is organizational tools. So some of it is stacking order. Arrange is stacking order, like move to the bottom, move to the top, move one step at a time. Group, ungroup, lock, unlock, show, transform. All of these are organizing your objects and organizing your file. So that's the first area of the object menu. The second area of the object menu is called expanding or flattening transparency. Now, I mentioned that phrase a few minutes ago. You'll notice it starts with the term expand, and I would say it would go all the way to slice, from expand to slice. Now, this area of features converts graphics that are pixel-based to vectors or line work, or it converts it to pixel. It's also a file management feature, but it's generating or altering how the graphic is being drawn in the software. I know that might be a little abstract right now, but as we move forward with the class, we will go into this area and I'll explain it with greater detail and understanding. I just want you to know that this is an area that's important and it does have a function. And I also want to explain how this thing is organized. We have file management, we have expanding and flattening transparency. You'll notice there's a feature called flatten transparency. There's a feature called expand. And that goes from expand to slice. And then below slice, we have the last area. And this area from path to graph. They are features in Illustrator that result in more complex illustration tools. They are usually tools that require a pretty good understanding of how objects work or potentially work with one another, understanding how the software functions. I would say if I wanted to construct certain things and understand it really well within the software, and I wanted to create something more complicated, I would call it intermediate to advanced functions. Intermediate to advanced functions. In the software for illustration, it would be this last set. Some of the ones that we're going to look at relatively soon would be blend or live paint, text wrap. These are all features that require a basic understanding of the software to manage it. I would say that this is an intermediate set of functions within the software. Let's go over the object menu again real quickly. The first area from transform to show all, organization. From expand to slice, it's flattening transparency or expanding. And then the last area is intermediate to advanced functions in the software.